Welcome, everybody, to another episode of HomeKit Insider. You've got me, Andrew O'Hara, here with my pal and the original singer of every single voice on It's a Small World, Stephen Robles. How you doing, man?
Do you remember 21st night of September? I
Can I
started too
mute
high.
you from my end?
I was doing that for Wes Hilliard's benefit at some point. I was trying to sing September from Earth, Wind, and Fire. I'm good, man. I'm good. Are you an Earth, Wind, and Fire fan?
I mean, I don't got like their greatest hits on vinyl or anything, but I like them.
Yeah, they're funky. They're fun.
They're
Anyway,
funky and
music.
fun. Used to be
That's right.
fresh, but now they're a little dated, so just funky and fun.
Well, yeah, exactly. Anyway, yeah, it's a small world. Is it a crime that I've still not brought my kids to Disney World? My oldest is 12.
I'm pretty sure if you wait another year, they will arrest you.
I think so, especially living in Florida. I think they come to your house.
And living in Florida, it's like a thing. You have to. It's like a bar
Supposedly-
mitzvah or something. Like, you have to do it for every kid.
Yeah. But it's also one of those things where I grew up in New York and I never went to the Statue of Liberty. It's like those things where when you live in the place, you're like, oh, it's always there. I could do it whenever. And then, I don't know, you just never do it. No? I don't know. Is there anything like that where you are?
There is no equivalent of Disney that I just haven't gone to
Or
that
Statue
is
of Liberty?
next to... Nope.
Nothing.
Nope.
Nothing.
Jeez.
What's the closest like major landmark or attraction that's near you where you are? You don't have to triangulate too much. I don't want you.
I mean, I don't know what
OPSEC.
you count as like a major landmark or attraction. I mean, Columbus Zoo is like, nationally recognized and it's got like Jack Hanna and stuff
yeah.
like that. You've got like,
Okay.
I mean, as far as like parks and stuff, there's like Cedar Point and Kings Island and stuff are both near us.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
There's that.
I've been to all of those for
Yeah,
what it's
very good.
worth.
What's the biggest city near you? How are you closer to Chicago or Atlanta? I have no idea where you are.
Okay, not Atlanta. Atlanta is way south.
I literally have no idea where you live. I have no idea.
In Ohio.
Ohio. Okay, I thought it was Ohio. Okay.
Yeah, so we
Chicago.
got Columbus, so we're like right there in the center of the state.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Ohio. Okay.
What was that? Was that
I don't know
supposed to be an Ohio
I don't know if I
accent?
say it like that. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm from Ohio. Do I have an accent like that?
Listeners, you listen to us every week. You tell us. Is that what Andrew sounds like every week? I don't think so, but you never know. The home kitties can answer you. The home kittiers can answer me. There we go. All right. Let us talk about some HomeKit news. This thing came out, well, so the first piece of news, this is not a release yet, but there is looking like a new Hue gradient floor light. So Philips Hue, looks like they're about to release a gradient floor light called the Signe, Signe. I assume that's not Signe, probably the Philips Hue Signe. And I gotta say, this thing looks super cool. I'll put it as the chapter art, of course, link in show notes, but it is a standing light. Basically looks like a pole. Can't tell how tall it looks from this picture. Maybe it's like 3 or 4 feet. And this white pole can then cast a gradient light onto like a wall, or I assume just into a room, but it would probably be most effective against a wall. It can kind of color the wall behind you. If you do videos and stuff, this might be pretty tempting, but I don't know. This looks pretty cool. What do you think, Andrew?
I mean, I am like, give it to me now. That's what I kind of feel about this thing. So if it's the
Yes.
same as the existing Hue sign, then those ones are just under 60 inches. That's
Okay,
what
so
you're
almost
looking
5
at.
feet.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at in terms of height. I've seen these for a long time. I mean, they came out a while ago. I've always really, really liked them. Like, I'd go to the Hue experiences at like CES and stuff, and they're always like the coolest freaking lights in the room. Like, I just really like them
cool.
because they're so skinny on the top there. Like, they have the bigger base, which not only makes them stable, but hides all like the components or whatever. You just have the light going up. And even then, I've seen like these third-party ones, and I was more likely to get the third-party ones, but I had held off. And the third-party ones I liked because they had the multiple addressable zones. Though the third-party ones were cheaper, like you'd find them for like $75 or something on Amazon, but they wouldn't be HomeKit compatible, and like the zones were like they had like pre-built options basically. I think. So like they were just never they looked really really cool, and especially in the photos, I'm like, man, I really want that, but I never did it because I was like holding off for like something, and this is what I feel like I was holding off for. I mean, it's
Yes.
the only change that I wanted was the multiple addressable zones. Like that is the biggest thing, and especially if you would use this with the Hue sync box, and then you'd have
Mm,
like the gradient lights around your TV, like in the corners of your
yes.
room. You'd have the rest of the ambient light going on. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome. So I am for sure
Be
probably
pretty
going to
hot.
get at least one of these things when they're actually announced. Because right now this is just another rumor. Like this is just
Right.
another leaked Hue product on top of the gradient light strip, not for the TV, and then all of the filament and itty bitty bulbs that we saw before that. So just
Right.
another leaked Hue product that seemingly coming to market sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and so again, the biggest difference, there is a Hue sign right now. I'll put the link to the current one on Amazon, but it is a solid color. You can change the color, but no gradient. So yeah, like that gradient change is going to be the biggest deal. And I will put the link to the where it was originally leaked, smartlights.de. I assume that's Denmark, maybe? But it's another language, so you have to ask Safari to translate it. But I'll let you guys. I'll put it in there anyways, just so you guys can try and read that or see if Safari and iOS 15 or macOS 15 can translate it. Not macOS 15, macOS Monterey. It's early. What is it? macOS 11 dot or no 12. 12. They're going with the whole numbers now. Are you running the beta on your Mac?
Not on my main Mac.
Okay, okay, okay. About to
I'm
say,
really
maybe that
tempted
explains
to do
everything.
it, especially after William accidentally did it.
And it's been working out.
I mean, I haven't heard him complaining anywhere, so I assume it has
Yeah,
been working fine.
yeah, maybe. Anyway, next piece of news: IKEA. They're launching a HomeKit-compatible smart air purifier, and I have to say this thing looks super interesting. So it was not sure if it was going to have HomeKit at first, but yes, now it is confirmed. It will support Apple's HomeKit using the trade-free. Someone said they're going to
Trod
send us the
free.
pronunciation.
Didn't you
Trod-free,
pronounce it like
trade-free,
that? Trod free. It's like
trade-free.
something along those lines.
Yes, someone told us that they're going to send us how to pronounce all these things, so that would be much appreciated. But the trade-free hub from IKEA will make it HomeKit compatible, and this is called the Stakvind. Again, pronunciation Starkvind, Starkvindaloo. I don't know, but this air purifier. The cool thing is, it is actually a end table in addition to an air purifier. So when you look at the picture again in the chapter art, it is like the air purifier is underneath the table part of this end table, and so it's supposed to blend into your home. So it's not as visually like, hey, there's an air purifier. And then you can also get a freestanding one that again looks like it blends in pretty nice. It kind of stands vertically and it has this like cloth cover, so it looks more like a piece of furniture than a you know air purifier sitting in your living room. But I think this is super interesting idea, like hiding smart home things in normal home objects like an end table. What do you think, man?
I mean, yes, I again I'm all on board on this. So this is what originally happened. So IKEA announced this as a new product coming in October for 189, and this is their first smart air purifier because they have an existing air purifier, but it ain't smart. And I reached out to them and I was like, hey, HomeKit, no HomeKit, what can you tell me? And they're like, oh, it can be controlled from Apple, Amazon, and something else, Google.
Google?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's great, but I am not
Home
beyond
kit?
companies saying like can be controlled by Apple means that they have an app or
Right.
maybe a Siri shortcut, something like that. So I was
Right.
like, could you
SwitchBot is like
please?
SwitchBot does that. SwitchBot is like controlled by Apple, but it's shortcuts. No HomeKit.
Yeah.
So
So I asked them to confirm HomeKit compatibility, and
okay.
they have not.
Oh, they have not.
No. But when they gave us more information that it connects to the Trod-free hub, and everything thus far that connects to the Trod-free gateway hub does work with HomeKit. their shades,
Gotcha.
their light bulbs, their switches, all go through that hub. So
Okay.
we made the jump that it will work with HomeKit. It seems fairly safe to say.
Gotcha.
They're actually promising. We had to change when we recorded this podcast because they were supposed to get back to me today when we recorded it before the taping of the podcast, specifically so that we could go in depth and talk about HomeKit and all of that. But since we changed the
Okay.
recording of our podcast, we didn't get a response from them yet. So
Gotcha.
we'll see what changes. Hopefully nothing changes. Hopefully it just connects to that shroud-free hub as they already said, and it does
Right.
immediately then work via HomeKit. So that's what we got on that. But I think it
Gotcha.
looks really cool. The table I just think is genius. Like it just blends right in.
Oh, yeah.
They route the cable down the leg, so that's like kind of out of the
Yes.
way. So it's $189 for that version. It has an auto version as well as 5 speeds for the fan. And then there is also a freestanding version, as you mentioned, which is like $169, I want to say.
129.
129. I was way off. 129. Edit that. Anyway.
Freestanding is cheaper, yeah.
Yeah, and it does take up a lot less space. It's like a vertical contraption, still like a circle, but they like rotated up on its end and gave it a little stand.
Yeah.
And it has like a fabric covering, so it looks very classy. I actually really liked IKEA's first air purifier that didn't work
Okay.
with HomeKit, and I contemplated getting one. But it's like a larger rectangle, like up on its end, but it again had like that fabric covering, and it looked very sleek. So I kind of like the first one too. So this is interesting. We'll review it, but yeah, it looks pretty cool.
So you will have, if you get one of these, you'll have the IKEA air purifier. You also have the Smart Me, right? The P1.
Yep.
You have the Vocal Link,
Mm-hmm.
right? And am I missing one?
Yeah.
Which one?
Um.
Watch Andrew and I feverishly try to remember what other air purifier.
I'm trying to think.
Molecule.
Molecule.
They have a HomeKit one.
It's right here. Molecule.
So
I'm also
Molecule
testing
Smart-
out a couple that are supposed to be adding HomeKit that have not added HomeKit
Okay.
support yet. So I'll have a couple more to test out, and I do have a Dyson pair that don't work with
Oh.
HomeKit except through
Okay.
HomeBridge, and I do have
gotcha.
a blue smart or not smart, just a blue air purifier
Right.
that we use.
I think it would be interesting. You know, you can cut this out if you want to give the idea out to the public, but to do a HomeKit air purifier showdown, because you know lots of websites do like best air purifier or whatever, but to know the best HomeKit air purifier, I don't know what kind of test you would do. I don't know if you would like throw some of that gymnastic chalk dust in the air or something and see if they like suck it up, which air purifier does it the fastest. But I think it'd be interesting to know which is the best HomeKit enabled specifically air purifier. Like this table, you know, every air purifier I've seen, it's kind of has like the top in, like it sucks the air in that way. And you know, I'm curious if this table has enough like airflow, enough, I don't know, surface area of sucking. I don't know better to say
God.
it. But if you know if it would actually clean the air as well as some of the other ones. So I don't know, Andrew. Just a little video idea. HomeKit air purifier showdown. Just saying.
What I thought was really interesting about it, and something that I run into more often with our air purifiers, is a lot of them are sitting like on the floor or very low. Like the blue,
Right.
it's sitting on the floor. And what we run into with so many pets is that a lot of dust and hair is getting like pulled into the sides of it and blocking up that pre-filter before even getting in. And this sitting up at table height, I'm wondering if that can make it more efficient because it's not going to get blocked up with all the hair and the dust that we're trying to clean with the vacuum. Like it's actually just sucking in the air that's around it, which yeah, so I'm thinking it could be better and not get blocked up as much from, I mean, we have a lot of animals around here, so there's a lot of hair and dust going on. And we have to sweep, I feel like Faith like sweeps like twice a day around here. And every time you sweep, then you find like more tumbleweeds of hair. So it's
tumbleweeds.
It's a roll. I mean, we've got everything in here is hardwood floors, so everything just kind of groups together, which at one point it keeps a little bit cleaner, but then you see like a tumbleweed like rolling through. Like, where'd you come from? and it's just from like a fan or door opening, it just rolls out from underneath the couch. And you're like, I just swept in here. Get out of here.
Well, it'd be interesting to see. So you'll hear about that again. That's October. It actually releases the Ikea air purifier. I want to talk a minute about Apple TV. We had an article go up talking about some people are having issues about Apple TV sound where video will play but no sound. They can't hear anything. Some have found that if they connect AirPods to the Apple TV, all of a sudden they can hear what's going on. And this actually helped me not feel as crazy because I ran into this issue. I don't know if you remember, like months ago, for some reason, my Apple TV just would stop playing sound. And at that point, it was hardwired into a receiver, HDMI right in there. And for some reason, I would just lose sound sometimes. And I would have to try and fiddle around and I don't even know what fixed it. I don't know if it was a software update or what. But now it looks like some people are experiencing this as well. One person said that they messed with the settings. So on your Apple TV, if you go to Settings, Video and Audio, Audio Format, Change Format, this is actually a setting where if a piece of content has like Dolby Atmos or something, and you do not, you tell your Apple TV, like, I don't have that kind of setup, it'll translate the audio, I believe, in like a more simpler format, so you're not losing channels. Because that's something that happened with me. Like, I would lose the center channel sometimes. So I don't know, Andrew, if you have heard or seen anything like this, but I thought it was interesting. Listeners, if you have this issue, I would be curious to know if you're running into it too.
Yeah, I have not, and I thought this was happening with specifically with purchased and rented content. So not even streamed content. It was just content coming from Apple. But again, I haven't experienced this at all. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Apple TVs in this house, and I haven't had that happen on any of them yet. So
yeah,
I'm just knocking on wood.
Yeah. So in line with that Apple TV, I didn't even have this in our notes, but I wanted to mention a new shortcut that I actually saw this from Matthew Cassinelli. He was on the AppleInsider podcast a while ago. You can see him on Twitter. He's got great stuff on shortcuts. He does all the shortcut stuff. But he made this shortcut. I thought it was super cool, and listeners, you might enjoy this too. If you use your phone to control your Apple TV, which I do, I have shortcuts to turn on the Apple TV and turn it off and all that kind of stuff. He made this shortcut. It's pretty simple. But in the Shortcuts app, there's actually commands and controls for skipping forward and back in whatever content you're watching. And there's even steps and shortcuts to turn on captions. You can turn on or off captions.